Uh-oh, okay, I could already see. Rue is now going to be confronting Jules. So my nerve and anxiety level, even higher.
Oh, okay. I see what the is going on here. Well, first things first. Elliot here's a f***ing addict. So if he tells you anything different, he's a liar and a snake. You.
He cares about you.
Oh, this doesn't concern you, Jules.
Yes, it does.
Does
Yes, it does.
How?
Because I don't want you to kill yourself.
You're a rat.
You were lying to me.
Yeah, so you gonna tell my mom?
I didn't know what else to do.
Why would you say anything?
Well, direct is a word that comes to mind. Helpful is not a word that comes to mind. Just the fact that this difficult conversation has an audience, probably not a best practice for any kind of productive, difficult conversation. Although I can appreciate that at least some reason for having others in the room in a case like this might be just around personal or physical safety.
You are dead to me.
You don't mean that.
I mean every word. You're dead to me, Jules.
I don't believe you.
You and me, we're done. There's nothing there anymore. Nothing there. You know, I have a lot of regrets in my life. But I gotta tell you, Jules, meeting you has got to be at the top of my list. Oh, now you wanna cry. Now you wanna cry? Yeah, you're a vampire. You just go around sucking the spirit out of everyone.
You know, one of the things we talk about in negotiation, we talk about this idea of trying to grow the negotiation pie. But in other videos, I've talked about one of the things that happens in the face of difficult tactics when we are emotionally triggered and upset, that sometimes we become less interested in growing the negotiation pie than we do in destroying the pie. And this here in this clip is an example of Rue doing just that. The negotiation pie isn't big here, right? But clearly Jules has done something because of the friendship and because she cares about the relationship. And Rue is determined to destroy even that. This is not even a take it or leave it, because there's no yesable proposition here for Jules. It's not like if you do A, B, and C, you can preserve my friendship. This is, I am destroying the friendship. There's nothing left on offer. And I am now going to actually make you feel even worse. So I'm going to take something, modest amount of friendship, reduce it to 0, and now see if we can go into negative territory.
You like that. Makes you feel good.
You know that's not true.
It is true. It's all about Jules, right? And you don't know what the you're doing. You just act all innocent. Like you're sweet little angel, this innocent, sweet little angel who doesn't know what they're doing. You know what you're doing.
I love you.
No, the you don't. You love being loved. You're a greedy who just likes sucking the life out of people. And it hurts, Jules.
I love you.
No, you don't. Stop saying that. You don't love me. You left me when I needed you. You left me when I was at my You left me at my lowest, and a friend, someone who loves you, wouldn't do some shit like that that, Jules.
I love you, and I want to help you.
If you want to help me, you can just stay out of my life. Forever. That would be great, because honestly, looking at you makes me physically ill.
There's something really rich here from a negotiation perspective, which is our own negotiations within, our own conflicts within. I think part of what is making this such a fraught conversation or negotiation or interaction is that it's clear there's a side of Rue that simply doesn't believe she is lovable and therefore is unable to take in any expression of love. And that side of herself is in some way in conflict with another side of herself, which does believe she is worthy of something. What's happening here, I think, is that the side that says you are worthless cannot be in relationship with someone who is doing something, at least from what we see in this clip, that suggests that her life is worth something. And until the internal conflict, right, the side that says you're worthless and the side that says you're actually worth something can have some meeting of the minds, which probably means that both sides have to get voiced by Rue, it's going to be hard to imagine how the across the table interaction between Jules and Rue can go anywhere. And so what we see here, I think, is that worthless side lashing out, rejecting even when Jules very directly says, right, I love you, I love you. That is not something she can take in. So this kind of dynamic, this dynamic of a really difficult conversation that can occur between friends or family members or sometimes even colleagues, often first has to get diagnosed with an internal negotiation. That part of what is making our inability to connect across the table so hard is that we have these internal demons or stories that are getting triggered powerfully by the actions of the other person. And so the first step, right, if somehow we could bring Rue down and somehow coach her here, would be to really actually own both the side of herself that at some level knows she's worth something, she's valuable, she's smart, and there's an emptiness. So how does this play out in this negotiation, in this difficult conversation with Jules? From the perspective of Jules, I think she's handling this pretty well. This is a really hard situation. What she's not doing, which is successful, is reciprocating that level of hate. She's not getting defensive. She's not running for the hills. So I think she's doing pretty well. Now, I mean, could we coach her to try to do some active listening? We probably could. Is this conversation best with mother, sister, friend all watching? Probably not. So there's a lot of lessons we can draw from here. One, if you have it under your control, consider carefully who's present in a difficult conversation. Having an audience might be necessary sometimes, but it often can raise the stakes. Second, really think about what are the internal conflicts or internal stories that might be at the root cause of the challenge that's across that difficult conversation. And lastly, if you are at the brunt of abusive behavior, of insults, as much as you can, choose not to reciprocate that. If your safety is obviously at risk, find a way to leave and get help. If not, as much as you can, try to actively listen, try to stay calm, but don't do an eye for an eye. That never leads to a good outcome. So I'm gonna ask my producers to give me one more clip because I am really interested to see how this turns out. Also, if you missed part one, please be sure to check that out right now. Okay, click this, here's the setup.